Hello everyone and welcome to another replay casted by Schicky SC. This will be posted to YouTube for all you guys. It is going to be a 2 vs 2 here on Arid Wastes. It's going to be Purple Protoss spawning in the top right corner is myself, and my teammate is the Teal Zerg Foxdie, and we are going to be playing up against Infinite, I'll call him Infinite, there you go. Bottom left Blue Protoss, and bottom right, Treble, the red Terran. So I'm asking for plans, and he says banelings, then we'll see. I'm just going to open with my standard builds and go from there. Get the production tab up and see what's going on here. I've got workers coming out for everyone. I'm getting my pylon with my 9th probe here as usual. For some reason didn't send out a scout yet. Hopefully I will in a minute or two. Looks like Treble's going to begin walling off his base with his supply depot, and we've got an early probe coming out from Infinite as well. His pylon looks to be like he got it around 9 as well. My partner Foxdie's Overlord is making his way to the... It looks like he's going to the Azelnaga Watchtower. Hopefully he is. I like to do that when I'm Zerg as well. And he's just going for a fairly economic build at the moment. No rush, no early spawning pools. Down in Treble's base you can see he is getting his barracks up, as well as the gateways coming up for both Protoss players, and everyone continually making drones. Let's get rid of that for now. Nothing really fancy going on yet. I did tell my partner to check for proxies in his base, because the game before this, I believe I lost to another cannon rush. My partner got cannons put in his base. So yes, I say check for proxies in your base. I absolutely hate that. I think in the Gold League you wouldn't see that very much, but lo and behold, it does happen. Anyways, my probe unable to get into Treble's base, unfortunately, so I'm just going to attack the SCV, making the... Actually, no, he was just attacking the supply depot. No worries, though. Refinery coming up for the Terran, and I believe I have gas coming up as well. Both gases. Still no one on this first gas, though. A little blunder there by myself. And I did get supply locked. Terrible, terrible job. Getting up my cybernetics core and putting some guys on gas. We've got a spine crawler and a spawning pool down for Foxdie, and he's only mining off one gas so far. He did say he was going to go banelings, so we'll probably see a baneling nest coming up shortly. Back in the Protoss base, we see an early double gate. Well, I shouldn't say too early. It was probably around 12 or 13. A lot of early double gates happen around 9 or 10, or 10 or 11, I should say. Cybernetics core coming up, and he's just getting his first gas now. Continually chrono boosting his probes as usual. Barracks here producing Marines, still no add-on. Looks like he is going for factory tech, so whether we'll see Hellions, tanks, Thors, or maybe he'll move straight into air. Who knows? We'll see. Second refinery coming up, so he is going a gas-heavy build. He does have his orbital command up, and he is utilizing that energy, so that's good to see. My partner's doing a early expansion. Looks like it was around 15 or 16, so good timing on that. He's got his queen out already, and as he said, his baneling nest is coming up. Second extractor coming up as well for him. We see the blue Protoss down here, just building zealots at the moment. Hasn't been chrono boosting them, but still using his chrono boost on his Nexus. Cybernetics core, he is researching the warp gate technology. Sorry, excuse me guys. And we are seeing a starport come up for the Terran, so whether we'll see Medivacs or early Banshees, it's hard to say at the moment. He does have the gas for the Banshees, but if he was doing Banshees, I'd expect to see the factory building a tech lab so that he could move off it and swap onto it to get those Banshees out a little bit earlier. Oh, and as I was going away, it looks like he is putting a reactor core and maintaining that wall. Sorry, not reactor core, but just reactor on his barracks while maintaining that wall. Back in the Protoss's base, we do see that forward pylon, which will help him utilize the warp gate tech. And he's also getting a robo base, so we'll probably see some observers or immortals coming out. He might be expecting my partner to go for roaches, or myself to go for stalkers, at which point immortals would be very, very effective. Back in my base, I am working off a 4-gate strat. I got my forge up, researching my level 1 upgrade, and I'm getting my Twilight Council as I am going to go for a fairly strong Zealot and Sentry build. Also chrono boosting my warp gates so I can get those out. I am, yes, going to get my speed upgrade for my Zealots as soon as I have enough gas here. Looks like he is going Lair Tech, so Tier 2. Whether we'll see Hydras or Mutas, it's hard to say. Or maybe we'll see some Infestors. I haven't casted many games with Infestors yet. That's kind of sad to say. Still no second Queen out here for my partner, but he is still utilizing the energy fairly well with his first Queen. Charge now being upgraded. Back in the Robo Bay, I don't see anything out yet. Oh, he does have an Observer. And he is getting a few Stalkers warped in as well as 1 Sentry. Back in the Terran's base, we have a second barracks with a tech lab, and a couple medevacs, factory, and siege tech coming out. I did notice he was sending some Zerglings out, so I asked him to check the expansions. That way we can see if they're teching up, macroing up, or if they're planning a early attack. So nothing big being researched. He is getting stim. I don't know why, but it looks like he's attacked his own tech lab for a second. So he's getting more Marines, Marauders, and no more tanks yet. Still researching Siege Tank. He's only got the 1 Siege Tank, though. No weapons or upgrades coming from the Terran or the Protoss at this point. He's now getting his second Immortal, and he's putting a cannon up at the front with a second pylon. So those first couple Zerglings might have scared him a little. Working off 3 warp gates and a robotics facility. He's got a forge, Twilight Council, and Cyber Core. Foxdie says he's got a observer, so I said I'm getting one as well. I think it was almost finished, about almost halfway done, or just over halfway done. Still pumping out units, like I said, going hard Zealots and Sentries. I do like that build, especially when charge is researched. It lets you be really efficient with your army. And as we can see, the Protoss and the Terran are beginning to push out now. Foxdie does have these towers, so we can see that. That's too bad for him. Anyways, he's got his medevacs up here far earlier than his army does. I don't know if I would do that because it risks the medevacs being taken out. I do have a pylon here, so that if I need to, I can warp units straight into my ally's base to help him instead of having to take the long way around. But looks like we are going to get a flank in. He sieges his siege tech, or his siege tank, and the armies do engage. He sends his Balings in, takes out a majority of the infantry, puts up a Guardian shield, and looks like he sets up a couple force fields here, but unfortunately he doesn't have any Zerglings or Banelings left. We do take out that army fairly easily. Units lost tab, definitely. We have barely lost anything compared to their almost 5,000 resources lost. We've just barely lost 1,000. So I do say counter push. Let's go to the toss. I figured the Terran would have a wall off, so it'll be harder to push in. It's easier to cripple the team by going for the weaker enemy. He only has 1 cannon here, a couple Zealots, an Immortal, and a couple Stalkers. So my Zealots charge in up here. Get a late Guardian Shield off that should have been earlier to help for the incoming damage, and I should have moved them up the ramp to help my Zealots. Unfortunately, all my Zealots do get taken out. I got a couple more reinforcements, and he's got his 3 Hydralisks coming up here to help. But unfortunately for the Protoss, this looks like this counter push is going to be effective enough. I've got an Immortal, and he's got 6 more Hydralisks coming. The medevacs are going to be just a tad too late. Unfortunately, the siege tank does get sieged up, but the Zealot and Immortal are able to focus him down fairly quick. A couple Banelings here, Hydras. I like what I do here with my sentries. If you'll watch, there was no army, so I took my sentries up and I was able to force field his mineral line, effectively like nullifying all his income. He's got a few probes coming off the minerals, but the other ones are just stuck and or running around frantically. So, you know, nice thing to do if you do have some sentries deep in his base. Force field off the mineral line. It'll help a lot. Stop them from getting any reinforcements quickly. Partners do leave. Treble leaves without a GG. Infinite does GG as we do. And that'll be it for the game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I'll get some more up for you as soon as I can.